Now, of course, the big story that we're tracking, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi addressed the annual general meeting of the Confederation of Indian Industries. It was after many years that you got to hear the leader speak out very frankly on some of his ideas about the economy. He praised corporate India for taking the country to the world, also spoke about human aspirations in India. Well, India Inc. has responded very warmly to Rahul Gandhi's speech. Here's what Adi Godrej had to tell NDTV.
What struck me about that train was the optimism.
Yeah.
Gave his views.
Yeah.
Very eloquent.
It's a first for Rahul Gandhi to speak from a platform like the CII. I'm now joined by the CII President, Mr. Adi Godrej. Sir, thank you very much for your time. This is a first for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. A lot of industrialists or India Incorporated really wanted to hear his vision on the economy, but he essentially spoke about systemic flaws in our country. What's your take?
No, we were very clear. He was invited here to speak about his views on the future of the country, his views on the long term, not about economic policy. We've invited the Prime Minister, we've invited cabinet ministers, we've invited secretaries to the government and many other people, state chief ministers, for their views on the economy. But Mr. Rahul Gandhi was requested to address the plenary session on his general views, which he did in a superb manner, and I think it was very well accepted by the audience.
You know, one of the takeaways personally for me and for many others, I would imagine, was this analogy of a superhuman being coming on a white horse and who would change the system. That's pretty much the expectation that we have from our leadership, isn't it?
Yes, sometimes. That is a fact. All over the world, people perhaps expect too much from their political leaders. Very few of political leaders turn out to be statesmen who deliver that kind of result. But what is very important for India, as he explained, was involvement of all the people, a consensus being built on where we want to go, so that any leader, whoever it might be, whether it's a white knight on a horse or anybody else, would be able to take the country forward even better.
Yeah. But some would say that but the country is as good as its leader.
Not necessarily. I don't think so. The country is as good as its people.
And its leader.
Well, certainly. A leader is part of the people. But I think he emphasized that the country is good as its people, and that I think was a very useful point of view to hear today.
So one question that inevitably comes up, the comparison between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi. This is a first for Rahul Gandhi. Mr. Narendra Modi is quite a regular at business summits. In fact, a few days from now, he would be addressing the FICCI Ladies organization. How do you see these comparisons? Rahul Gandhi spoke for the first time. Mr. Modi actually has 6 successful Gujarat summits, vibrant Gujarat summits under his belt.
No, I think they're both well-known leaders. They're both from opposing parties. They both have their views. Some of their views may be similar, some of their views may be different. But as the president of CII, I would like to say that we would like to see the country progress. We would like to see business and industry progress. We would like to see the country successfully leverage its democracy and demography. And we don't like to take views on individual political leaders or individual political parties.
Right. Of course, the BJP said that Mr. Rahul Gandhi's speech was somewhat confused, didn't show an ideology. That was, of course, the political opposition that said. But some would say that when Narendra Modi delivers his lectures, he tries and usually shows what his government has done, what he has been able to do to Gujarat. Something of that sort perhaps was missing in Rahul's speech.
Well, certainly different people will present their views in a different manner. We can't expect everybody to present their views in the same manner. And we should listen to all the views. We should listen to all the different opinions, and then people will make up their mind from a political and electoral point of view.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so some views there. Adi Godrej speaking about Rahul Gandhi's speech. We will get you more reactions to that. But moving on to news from Rajasthan.